Hello everyone, Pitts here with another video, and in today's video, I will be discussing the eastern side of the 2021 NBA playoffs. And in the first round, we got the number 1 seed, Philadelphia 76ers, taking on the 8 seed Washington Wizards. Now, the Sixers are 3-0 against the Wizards this year. However, 2 of those games came early in the season, and one of those games being the first game of the season. That being said, the Wizards started off the season very slow due to injuries to Russell Westbrook's partially torn quad. The Wizards are my favorite team this year. They completely flipped their season around to make the playoffs, winning 17 out of 23 games to finish off the year. Ben Simmons will draw the assignment on Russell Westbrook, and I see Russell Westbrook getting very frustrated in this matchup, turning the ball over plenty of times. Ben Simmons is arguably the defensive player of the year at 6'11" at point guard. That's just not fair. Next, we got Joel Embiid. If he didn't miss games this season, he probably would have been the MVP. That said, he has no matchup. He's going up against 3 different guys that the Wizards use at center in Alex Len, Gafford, and Robin Lopez. They have no shot. I think the Sixers could sweep, but I'll give one game to the Wizards. Sixers in 5. Moving on to the next matchup, we got the number 4 seed New York Knicks, which is the Cinderella story this year, taking on the number 5 seed Atlanta Hawks. And on paper, I thought this was a good matchup, but I was wrong. The Knicks are 3-0 against the Hawks this season. Randall is very dominant against them. He had 2 40-point games. He also had a 28-point game with 17 rebounds and 9 assists. He just eats versus John Collins. I don't know why. The Hawks do have the league's leading rebounder in Clint Capella and a good upcoming guard in Trae Young, but he's very undersized. They also are getting key contributors back from injury in Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter. I still don't think they have enough to beat the Knicks. The Knicks have been a top 3 defense all year. Next I say the Knicks win in 5, maybe 6. The next matchup we got the number 3 seeded Milwaukee Bucks taking on the 6 seed Miami Heat. And last year, the Milwaukee Bucks were the number 1 seed, and they got crushed by the Heat in the second round. They were down 3-0 in the series, eventually losing in 5. I think the Bucks get their revenge this year, as they are 2-1 against the Heat. They last played in the last game of the season on May 15th, where the Bucks won 122-108. I think this game goes to 7 games. I think the series goes 7 games, and I think the Bucks pull it out, and I think it's going to be the best series out of the East. Moving on. Last game in the first round in the East, we got the number 2 seeded Brooklyn Nets taking on the number 7 seed Boston Celtics. How did the Nets not get the 1 seed with all the talent they have? Who knows? But, that being said, Boston's defense is very good, but they don't stand a chance against Brooklyn's offense. Brooklyn's 3-0 versus Boston this year. And to make matters worse, Boston's out with their star young guard in Jaylen Brown. I could see the Nets sweeping this series, but I'll give 1 game to Boston. I got the Nets in 5. I think Tatum can drop 50 in one of the games and steal a win. Moving on to the semifinals. We got the number 1 seeded 76ers taking on the number 4 seed New York Knicks. The Sixers are 3-0 versus the Knicks this year, and both of these teams probably play the best defense in the league by far. It's going to be a very low-scoring, hard-fought series, but I'm taking the upset. I'm taking the New York Knicks to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. I just feel like they find a way to grind down Embiid and grind down Simmons, and I think they win in 7. The next semifinals, we got the 2 seed Brooklyn Nets taking on the 3 seed Milwaukee Bucks, and I expect a lot of points in this series. I expect Giannis to dominate the paint, and I expect Harden and Durant, and if Kyrie plays, nobody's going to stop those guys. The Nets are 1-2 versus the Bucks, however, this season, but they were without their stars. I think this series will go 7 games with the Nets pulling through. and they're going to be very exciting, high-scoring games. And we're going to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. In my projection, I got the 2-seed Brooklyn Nets taking on the 4-seed New York Knicks. Now, the last time they played was on April 5th, and the Nets won a close game, 114 to 112. The Nets are 3-0 versus the Knicks this season. And no matter how good the Knicks defense is, they're going to eventually tire to this Brooklyn offense. And it's sad to say because I don't like all-star teams making it to the championship. But I have the Nets beating the Knicks and ending their Cinderella season in 6 games. I really want the Knicks to make it, but not this year. And so, my NBA final prediction, I have the Western Phoenix Suns, the 2-seed, taking on the 2-seed out of the East, the Brooklyn Nets. And I think this is an interesting series, but I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns winning in 7 because I don't like all-star teams. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good one. Peace out.